Start a little bit early today because it seems like everyone is ready to rock and roll, which I like. Okay, so as you guys can see here, I threw away everything we did at the beginning of the class and built another application. In this application, we use a little bit of JavaScript to manipulate our students, manipulate our data. Okay? Has anyone here had a chance to look at JavaScript yet? I'm
actually doing some exercise right now.
Good. What do you know about JavaScript? Does anyone know what an array is?
An array is a container of objects.
It's a list, kind of like in a container, and it may not necessarily have objects. Okay? An array is simply a list of things that are very, very similar. Okay? So in this case, what are these things called, guys? These are students. It's a list of students. That's all we have right here. It's nothing magical. It's an array. I'm sorry for jumping ahead, but you guys are going to learn about this next week. Okay? That being said, this is the website that I built over the last 15 minutes. It's amazing. You can see the list of students here. I know, I'm pretty funny. When we click this button, pair, the behavior that we've implemented is that we click this button, we simply look through our list of students, and we pair them. We say, hey, give me a student, stick them together. And then we do this to all the students until we have none. You guys will see when I click this button that this list transitions to a different list. Instead of a list of individual students, it becomes a list of pairs of students. So watch. Oh, my bad. It added one to the bottom. I forgot. So here's our list of students right here, okay? So what the exercise that we're doing, the reason why we're doing this is because we want you guys to pair. So for example, Parsa and Maya are paired right now, wherever he is. We're going to click this again. We're going to see the exact same behavior, except obviously it's randomly done, so the pairs are going to be different. So right now, Parsa and Maya are together. Oh. Fuck, I got to refresh it. And this time, Maya's with Hai Chung, and Parsa's with Kwa. Okay, so I promise you this is random. I wrote a little code, massaged a little bit of data. That's all we did, okay? I promise you guys, in the future, when you guys are working with any web application that you guys ever work with, or no, forget about web applications now. If you guys want to build robotics, drones, desktop applications, embedded systems, you guys need to know how to manipulate your data, okay? Take a list of students. Give me a shorter list that returns pairs of students. This is a very contrived example. When we move into React and JavaScript, you guys are going to see much more sophisticated examples. Okay? So anyway, in a moment, we're going to, after lecture, we're going to run this application, and then you guys are going to break into pairs. Or do you guys want to break into pairs right now? Who wants to break into pairs right now? You guys need to pair program. Coder School wants us to pair program, okay, for a little while. Okay, so we're literally going to move our seats around, and we're going to get to know our pair here, okay? Okay, guys? So let's just do it right now, because you guys need to be thinking about this together, okay? So I'm going to refresh this a couple times. 1, 2, 3. Okay? I'm going to click this button, and you guys are going to find your pair, okay? So we're going to click, and here we go. What? How's mine? Mine Dip.
Who's Dip?
Hi, Dip.
Hi.
Okay, so here you guys go. Okay, guys, can you find your partners, please? Come on, move around right now. Cưng thế nào vậy? Cưng á? That's you, Cưng, right here? Children, down. People gotta sit. Say again? Who? You're with Parsa? It's okay. So you hang out right there, okay? Hang out right there right now. Don't worry, I'm gonna come bother you if your partner doesn't come back. I know our classroom is pretty packed. I'm sorry. Don't worry. Some students will fail very soon, so it's okay. We're gonna have more. No, I'm pretty serious about that one. Yeah, pretty serious. No, trust me. Some of you guys will fail in this class, and you won't be coming here that much longer. So the rest of the students will have more space. Has everyone found their partner here, other than Hang?
Lloyd, where'd you get that from?
My ex-girlfriend bought it for me. Yeah.
Your ex?
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend.
Why do you guys broke up? I mean, it sounds like a good girlfriend. Right? Buying her t-shirts and stuff.
I couldn't make her happy.
You could find the algorithm to make her happy. Huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I kind of accidentally messed this up. My bad. Okay, so everyone has their partner, right? Other than Hang.
I think, isn't he with Parsa, but Parsa's not here?
Yes. So we're just gonna ignore that right now. It's okay. It's okay. Now you just get to practice. That's cool. You can look at them too. That's cool. It doesn't. Guys, pair programming to me it isn't about it isn't necessarily about one person typing and one person researching. Pair programming is just putting both your heads together. Two heads are better than one most of the time. Okay? So just know that like when you guys are working together, it's okay for one person to be Googling and reading the instructions and the other person doing the same things. But you guys just need to be sharing your knowledge, okay? Try to help your partner learn, and your partner will tell you, like whatever you don't know. Try to do that, okay? If you guys want to be a technical lead, once again, like I said, you guys need to know how to do this. Explain how this code runs, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me go ahead and do the live code demo. I'm just gonna delete everything and start over, okay? I'm gonna remove RF Spotify. Here, let me actually start slower, okay? I type in ls from the command line. You guys can see everything in the current working directory. If I type in pwd, you guys can see that my current working directory is users, primetime train, desktop, Sierra. What does that mean, guys? That means that if I open up my desktop, I guarantee you I see a folder called Sierra. Okay? If I type in ls, I see boxes, Google, Spotify. I guarantee you if I open up this folder on my computer called Sierra, that I will see 3 folders, and I'm going to show you. This is a very important concept, guys. The concept here is that we're constantly manipulating folders and files. What we've done so far is the simplest version, right? Our folder has 3 files in it. Eventually, we're gonna have folders that have thousands of files in them. And every single file is gonna be there for a reason. I guarantee it. None of them are there for free, okay? So I'm gonna type in rm-rf Spotify. This simply removes the directory, it removes the folder and everything that is inside of it. So I type in ls, we now see 2 folders. And if we look in here, once again, we only see 2 folders. This may not be important to you guys right now because you guys have access to your UI. But one day, when you guys become a backend developer and you guys need to talk to 100 different servers in Singapore or in the US, these servers, right? Then you guys will need to know how to manipulate the folders from the command line. Because imagine, Facebook does not have one server that's serving all the files. And I know this is like super high level, but I want you guys to be prepared. One day, you guys are going to need to manipulate folders and files on a computer that is not in front of you. Okay, it's not in front of you, but you need to manipulate the files and folders, and you're gonna run commands like this to do that. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna make a directory. We're gonna call this one Spotify. Spotify. Okay, type in ls, I see Spotify. If I look in the folder, I see Spotify. We're going to move into Spotify. Okay, so now we see nothing in here. I'm going to run touch and just create all these files. This is what I always do. Every single one of these files is required. I have not asked you guys to type anything into readme.md, but in the following lessons, you guys will be typing stuff in there. Yes?
Any question? So if you have a file or folder, you name the space in it.
Named it with the space in it?
Spaces in your
Yes.
name.
Don't do that. That's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
Don't put names in your folders, your projects. Don't put spaces in your folders, names. Just don't do that. Just avoid doing that, please. Okay? Because like later on, you guys are going to run into problems when depending on the Linux distribution. For those of you who have tried to push your servers to Amazon or DigitalOcean or GCP, Google Cloud Platform, there are problems. Okay? Just don't put any spaces in it. You'll never ever see me name a folder, something space something. So anyway, I'm going to create these files, and now we have these files. So we look inside of our Finder, we move into Spotify. Yay, we have these files. Dope. So now I'm going to open up my code editor, and I'm just going to go into index.html. I'm going to type in HTML. I'm going to see this shortcut right here, and it gives me just a shortcut to do all this. I hit enter. Okay, that seems pretty simple. We have a head, we have a body, some stuff that we anticipated. So I'm going to type in link, CSS, tab, and that automatically gave me this, right? Gave me this shortcut. So I don't need to memorize it. I'm going to fix this because I want to make the project the way that it should be structured. So I'm typing CSS. I'm going to grab, I'm going to move styles.css into CSS, and we're going to rename this file to styles. Okay? Now, to smoke test, we're going to open up styles.css. I'm going to move this right here. Why is this not working? Styles. Okay? And I'm going to smoke test. Give it a background color of red. Okay? Now what do we need to do? We need to run our server. Okay, we hit that command, we ran it, we see a red background. Yay, we got this working. Okay, so what were we talking about today, guys? What was the presentation about? Who said that? Outstanding. That's the type of answers I want. We're talking about Flexbox today, guys. So now we need to create a couple different elements, and these elements are going to contain other elements, okay? So we're gonna use what we call semantic elements, which is basically this right here, okay? And we're gonna have one called section. I need to close this. Come on, Lloyd. Then we have one called footer. The reality is that these are not different. These are not different than a div, but there's additional logic applied so that basically our content is more readable by a search engine, such as Google. I can't think of any other search engine right now for some reason. So now let's go ahead and apply some styles. We're gonna say our nav has a height of 80 pixels, okay? And its background color is black. So now the expectation is if I save, I should see a black nav up here. Nice, we do see one. But you guys will notice that there's a bit of a margin and padding applied to it. The reason why that this is occurring is that our browser will automatically always apply a little bit of styles. So we're gonna use something called the star selector. This basically selects everything. And actually, now that I think about it, we're just gonna go back to the instruction because there's a couple different things I want you guys to do. Hold on, wrong window, hold on. Okay, we look at Tuesday, scroll down. Obviously, you guys should be reading this as you work. They give you further explanations into what's going on. So I'm gonna copy everything we have right here, and then afterwards I'm gonna explain it. So our margin and our padding, there's always a little bit added, right? There's always a little bit added by the browser. We're resetting them. Line 6 is we're saying, hey, if we can find a font called circular, use it. If not, then look for a font called Spotify Circular. If not, look for a font called Helvetica. If we cannot find that, then use Arial, and then so on and so forth, right? And once again, I'm using the background color to smoke test. Kind of forgot I already did that. So now the expectation is the background is blue. And we do see that we have a blue background. I'm going to close these real quick, my bad. Okay, so we have our blue background, and we have our nav. Nice. Okay, so there's the explanation. We have nav, we have a section. We're gonna copy these styles over just to make sure it lays out correctly, okay? So we're gonna copy this. We save, we jump back over. Oh, it seems as if it was lagging a little bit. Okay, so once again, we're cloning Spotify, right? Here's Spotify. We see our logo up here. We see some content in the middle, and we see a footer at the bottom. So remember how earlier we talked about making boxes, right? Well, that's what I want you guys to start off doing. We're gonna build boxes first, and then afterwards we're gonna stick stuff inside those boxes, okay? So let me give you an example. So in our nav, we're gonna do a div. Come on, boy. Div.left. Okay. Then we do a div.right. Okay, that seems good. Now we're just gonna do, we need to have an image here. And I'm just going to copy and paste over from our documentation. Because I don't want you guys to just watch me Google and download this. So we're gonna paste this here. And we need to download this file. Because right now I copied and pasted that over, but what do you see? What's the problem right here?
You can't find it in your folders.
Exactly. If you guys look at the path right here for this image tag, we're saying, hey, look for a file called Spotify-logos.svg. But when we look in our project, we don't see a file by that name, right? So that's why it's a broken image.
It's always looking in the top level folder.
Yes, but no, by default, it'll always look where this file is, right? So because, what is this file right here?
Index.
Okay, so where is index right here? Exactly. So because we're looking right here, it's gonna look in the exact same folder. If I wanted to go up 2 folders, I could go this way. Oh, my bad. Where's this looking, guys? What folder am I looking at right now? This is inside Sierra. Because I went up. So, but if I do this again, it's gonna look inside of the desktop. But just leave it like now, okay? Actually, specifically, I want you to switch it to image. Oops, my bad. Image. And once again, you guys will see a very pretty icon, right? Because it's expecting that. So anyway, we're gonna go to this link that's provided in the documentation right here. We're gonna run save. We're gonna go to Sierra, Spotify, image. We're gonna save. Okay, so that looks good. Whoa. Why is this not working, guys? Because the name of the file is incorrect. So we're gonna show it in our Finder. We're gonna change it to Spotify logo. Spotify, did I spell that right? Spotify logo. SVG. And the path is wrong. All right, there we go. That took a while. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is resize it. So we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna apply some knowledge that we have to target this logo. Whoops. So because in the code snippet that you were provided by your technical lead, this is called the Spotify logo class, we can simply target it right here, okay? And in the instructions, you guys will see that we tell you guys to look at the real. Look at the Reels website. So we're gonna use Command-Shift-C. We're gonna click on this thing, and what's the dimensions? Did you guys see it?
Here's what I found.
My bad. What's the dimensions, guys? 130.
1.46 pixels by height and 141.
So we'll say it's 131 width by 40 height. So we say,
But is that fixed?
no, it changes.
Yeah.
So say width is 140 pixels and height is 40 pixels. Yeah, that closes. Okay, so that's about the right size, okay? So you guys will notice what right now? Our right thingy is sitting right below, right? So let's go ahead and give it a background color so we can focus it. We say left, say background color is orange. Hold on, we already have orange, so we're gonna say green. Then we're gonna say right is, come on, background color is pink. Come on. Okay, so why don't we see the pink right here, guys? Because we don't have anything in here, right? So let's go ahead and give it an anchor tag. We'll give it a ref. We'll just say we don't know where this goes right now. We're just gonna say premium. Hold on, I'm just gonna copy this over. This right here. Actually, guys, there's a ton of different ways to do this, okay? I want you guys to know there's a ton of different ways to do this. I could potentially do this without looking at the documentation. I promise you. I could do it without looking at the documentation. But I've heard complaints from students in the past that I don't do it exactly like how we tell you guys to do it. So I'm trying to stay close to the documentation. Okay. So we now need to have this flex, right? We need to have our nav flex. So we're gonna go back to our nav and apply these concepts that we talked about earlier. So we do def flex. And now we can see that it's going from left to right. Guys see what happened right there? Okay? Right now, we have a nav, it's up here. Let's get this nav a background color. Okay, it's the black right there. It's right here. We can't see it because the other two divs are covering it entirely. But just know there's a div where the icon is in the top left, and then below that we have our UL. So we have this div right here, and directly after that we have the UL, right? And the reason why it's going from top to bottom instead of left to right is because the default setting is block, and block will always go from top down, but we want it to go left, right. So that's why on the right in our CSS, we're gonna say display flex. And then now you will observe the behavior is that it goes from left to right. So let's save. And we can see, yes, that's exactly what occurs. Additionally, we also want our links to go from left to right, right? So now we're gonna do the same thing right here. So instead of using right, okay, I'm gonna go nav, any child of nav that is a UL, we're gonna say deflex. And that does in fact make it lay out the way we want, okay? So now we're gonna say, because I want these both to take up equal amounts of spacing, what's the one thing I showed you guys earlier? That could work. Yeah, so we can do just justify content, space between. Let's just experiment. That kind of works, right? Almost. It's really cramped. So what's the one thing? Do we want to move our elements away from something or push things inside around? Because remember, what's the difference between margin and padding? Margin will say move me away from something. Padding will say move all the things inside of me further inside. So the objective here is to get Spotify to not be hugging the wall, right? Hugging right here. So I'm gonna say padding. Nah, this is not the best way to do it. We're just gonna use Flexbox like we've done before, okay? So inside of this thing right here on the left. No, first off, we need to make this flex, okay? I want them to both take up the most amount of space. We're gonna do flex, 1. So now we can see that the left side right here is taking up as much space as it can. We're gonna do the same thing with the UL. Now they're both taking up an equal amount of space. But I want these links to hug the right. So we're gonna do what right here? That's one way of doing it. I think this way would work. That would also work. Additionally,
You made the login the other side.
say again.
So like you flip login.
Okay, my bad. What is it again? Justify content? Space, flex in?
Yeah,
Okay, that also works. Additionally, we're gonna use align items because we want to line up our items vertically. And now you can see that vertically it's aligned. You guys see that?
Can you do that again?
So let's look at this more closely.
Sorry.
I know I move too quickly sometimes, guys. I apologize. Okay, so notice how right here, what happens to these right here? Right now they're hugging. They're hugging the very top, but we want to move them vertically. We want them to center within its parent, okay? So this UL element, it's inside of something. What is it inside of? The nav. So we want it to center vertically within the nav. So we're just gonna apply align item center. So you guys will notice as soon as I save this, right? It's going to update right here. You guys can tell that a file has not been saved by looking at the tab right here. If you see a circle in the tab over the X, that means you have not saved it yet. And that knowledge in conjunction with our knowledge of how live server works, know that when we click save, the folder or live server will automatically update the page for us. So I'm gonna click save, and we can see that now it aligns vertically. Okay, so we're just using some of the stuff that we learned by using Flexbox Froggy earlier, okay? Okay, so additionally, we're gonna do the same thing to our left. Oops, why is that working? Let's think about this. It's because we didn't do the slave flex, I think. There we go. Nice. Okay, so now the next part is what? Come on, guys, you guys should be my navigators. I'm the driver right now in pair programming. When I'm driving, you guys are navigating.
So put a header in.
Yes.
Music program.
Yes, we need to put a header in. Okay, so now we're just gonna move over to our section right here. And we're gonna say H1 music. We're gonna say music for everyone. And we do a P tag. We're gonna say millions of songs. No credit card needed. No credit card needed. And then we have a button. Get Spotify free. We're gonna check our work. Okay, that's kind of what we want. What's the problem though, guys?
No CSS.
It's not where we want it. It's not where we want it. It's what we want. It's just not where we want it. So we're gonna put this all in a div because we want all of these elements to move together. Okay? And I'm gonna give you a special keyword that you guys are gonna know very soon. I'm gonna give it a class of Jumbotron. Jumbotron. Okay, we're gonna save it. We're gonna observe that there are no additional effects. The reason why that is because we have not applied any styles yet. So we can go back to our styles. We're gonna target it, and then we're gonna say, oh my bad. I've actually skipped one step. Before we start focusing on the Jumbotron, we need to move the Jumbotron within its parent container. So let's look at this container. What is the Jumbotron inside of, guys? Yes, so we're gonna target our section. And we're gonna say what? How can we get things to center vertically and horizontally? We're gonna do deflex, we're gonna do justify content, center, right? And we can do align items, center. And I promise you this will work. So I'm gonna save it, and bam, sexy.
Any reason why it just then, sorry, you obviously readjusted all your stuff and then changed display, align, and justify to slightly different orders.
I always like it that the shortest ones are on top. That's how I like writing my code. It makes it easier for it to read for me.
Okay.
There's no rule here. It's just, to me, it's easier to read. Okay, so we've got our Jumbotron where we want it. Now we notice that everything is aligned to the left, whereas inside of our music, inside of the actual Spotify, everything's centered. So someone help me do this. Text align? Is that all we need? Center? Is that it? Oh, let's see. Nice. That works. It's pretty sexy. I'm impressed. Okay, so I'm not making this perfect, guys. I just want you to know that the objective today is just to put this where we need it to be. So you guys will notice right now that the links, the logo, the Jumbotron, it's all sitting in the center. Okay, it's pretty sexy. It's pretty dope. Okay, so we're gonna keep moving forward, and now we can go down to our footer. So we can see in the footer of Spotify, what do they have? They have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 different columns, okay? So I'm gonna do something called sexier. Okay, I'm gonna do. First off, let's just stick some columns inside of our footer before we get ahead of ourselves. We're gonna do div column, and we're just gonna copy this a couple times. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay, in a second we're gonna do more. So right now we're just gonna say logo. Why can I not type? Company. Communities. Useful links. Social buttons. Okay, we're gonna hop back over here, and we can see that we have these elements, but what's the problem? They're not where we want them to be. So we're going to apply some styles. We're gonna say footer. We're gonna target the footer because all these things are inside of our footer, and then we're gonna say we're gonna move them from left to right. So we save. And yes, that's the behavior that we observed. Okay. So in addition, our footer, we're gonna say our padding of, I don't know, 10 pixels maybe. Save. And we do have a little bit of space here. Nice. Okay. So now we're gonna say, let's do some justify content, space around. And that's kind of like what we wanted, right? But now, notice that how these things, they're not taking up as much space as they can, right? So now we're gonna target them. We're gonna say, hey column, I want you to be a flex 1. And now we're gonna see that they take up most space. But let's go ahead and give it some margin as well so they're not hugging each other. We save. Oops, that isn't what I expected. It's because I fucked up right here. And there we go, we got some space. So how can we get this one to be bigger, guys? What if we want to social?
Change your flex, you have to target that particular column, right?
Yep. So we're gonna say social buttons. We say flex 2. And I think this will work. So we're just gonna copy this over and jump over here, and we're just gonna apply an additional style here, an additional class. This was not what I expect. I save. Okay, I didn't save. The problem was I did not save the file. We had to constantly be saving our files. Okay. So right now we can see that our social buttons are in fact taking up more space, like the way this one is. Right? You guys with me? Obviously we can make this bigger if we wanted. I don't know, I want you guys to play around with this more, okay? So anyway, that's pretty much this right here. And we have one more section at the bottom right here where we have our additional layout right here, okay? So we're gonna add one more footer. So we're gonna say, let me just do, I don't know what this is called. Little footer. This is called a div right now, and just give it a class of little footer. That's a bad name. Please don't copy me. I'm gonna come up with a better name for this later, okay? So we're gonna go down, we're gonna target our class of little footer, and we're gonna say background color is red. And jump back over to our code. We'll look at it. Why don't we see anything? Because we didn't stick anything in here. So what does it really have? I'm just gonna copy these. We're gonna wrap these, oops. We're gonna wrap these in P's. Okay, we're gonna copy this. Maybe this isn't the best way, I don't know. You guys tell me. Tell me which way is better. Actually, now that I think about it, this is actually, oh yeah, this will work, yeah, this will work. So we can copy this, paste it. Okay, we're gonna format. Need to delete some spaces right here. Okay, we save, we jump back over to our example, and we can see that they're kind of laid out where we want them to be. But once again, we want them to go left to right. So we're gonna say, hey, deflex, and then we're gonna say, save it. We're gonna look at our code. We can see that it does in fact do what we want it to do. But we want this to take, this little footer to do what? There's really something on the end here, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna put this in one div right here. Oops. And then we're gonna have one more div Oops, we call this one div right. This one's gonna have, I don't know, we're just gonna say Vietnam for right now, okay? The objective here is just to make them sit in the right place. Okay, so now we need to make this move. We need to make this move, the little footer to have the same styles. So we're gonna say class is left. And we get that same applied again. The word Vietnam. So now Vietnam's on the right. Kind of like how we wanted, right? Do you have any questions so far? I feel like I'm talking quick.
Can you just go back to that last move then?
So I applied left right here because this is going to be the left. Because like typically you're always going to be splitting up things up top and bottom, left and right, right? And I had already made a style left of what I wanted. So instead of coming up with a new style, I just applied some old styles that I had already had. And as you get better, you guys will know how to do this more efficiently. You don't want to write a bunch of different classes that all do the same thing. Ideally speaking, you should be writing a single class, a parent class that is generic enough that it can be applied to many, many different elements across the page. Okay, I know that's kind of complicated, guys. So we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so in our little footer, we see that we do have kind of where we want it, but we do have some issues with our content hugging. So we're gonna say our little footer, let's just give it some padding. Give it padding of, I don't know, 20 pixels. Just go down, and that's kind of how we want it. So now the next thing is that we want the thing right here to have some margins, right? We want all these to be spaced out a little bit. So we'll say our little footer, okay, we'll look at left right here, and then we'll say left. Oh, hold on. Let's target this correctly. We'll say the little footer, any child that has the class left, we're gonna space around. So we say little footer, child that is of class left. We're gonna say justify content, space around. Oops, that was a little too much. So we're gonna say space between. I made this not work either. Why is this happening, guys? Yeah, we haven't put the flex numbers yet. So we're gonna say, we're gonna copy this one down. Oops. Copy this one down. We're gonna move this one to right. Okay, and then we're gonna say this one is flex 1. We can copy the same thing over to flex right. So now this half is where I want it to be basically, right? But Vietnam, I want this to be on the end. How can we do that, guys? That's strange. Is it? Bam. CSS is a lot of practice, a lot of experimenting. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm just smashing keys and looking at my screen. Obviously, come on, I was just joking. I'm saying that you do need to think a little bit, okay, but at the end of the day, you need to type and then you need to look at the result of what you've done. There is no other solution, okay? Just like, I guarantee you, week 8, week 9, maybe if Charles comes in here, gives you guys a lecture, I guarantee you he's gonna say these words that I've watched him before. He says, I'm not 100% sure how to do this. We're just gonna try. That's literally what we're gonna do. And that's how we're going to learn. So you guys have seen over the last 36 minutes, I've shown you how to space things around on the screen, okay? Let me show you one more thing. I forgot if I showed you guys how to do this. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to incorporate Bootstrap. So we're gonna say Bootstrap CDN. Oh, no, bad. Font Awesome CDN. Font Awesome CDN. So we're gonna Google, we're gonna look at some examples. I forgot which one it is, to be honest with you. I don't want 4.7, I want the newest ones. Actually, you know what, man? I wrote this down in the instructions for you guys. Fonts. Fuck, that deleted it. Did I really do that? All right, we're gonna just do it from scratch. So we're gonna Google Font Awesome and we're gonna look for the newest version, okay? I don't want you guys using 4.7 because I know some of you guys are gonna wanna use brand logos, okay? So we're gonna look for Font awesome CDN 5.11, 5 point something. Font awesome 5. We're gonna look at this. No, that's not it. Fuck. I did this for you. Hold on one second. All right, we're just gonna copy this. In a second, I'm gonna find the correct link for you guys, okay? So we just copy this one. We're gonna move it to where, guys? Our head tag. We're gonna move it above our personal style sheets right here, okay? It should always be our above our custom styles. So we're gonna save it, and then we're just going to look at the simplest example. These ones right here. It's right there. We're gonna paste this into anywhere in our body. I don't care where you paste it. Just make sure it works first. Copy the example over, make sure it works. So we can copy it, paste it, and we look, and do we see icons? Yes, we see icons, okay? So now we can delete these ones. Now let's actually just leave this one. I like that one. So now we're just gonna cut it, clean up our code as we go, and I'm gonna stick this where? Here. Why? Because here we can see that we have icons right here, okay? So we're gonna look at this and we're gonna see that we have an icon right there. Now I'm going to look at our documentation. We say font awesome icons, and we're gonna find the one that we want. So what's the one that Spotify has? Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Okay, Instagram. We're gonna click it. And I hope this works. I hope that it works. We're gonna click it. We're just gonna paste it. And go back over, and we don't have it. Why don't we have this? It's because we're not using the correct version of Font Awesome, okay? So know that we need to find Font Awesome 5 CDN, okay? I'm sorry I did this wrong. We're gonna look at this example. It's this one right here. So I'm gonna click copy. I'm gonna jump back over to our head tag. I'm gonna replace that URL. And I suspect that this will work now. And yes, we do have an Instagram icon. So just know that the versioning of our libraries is important. Okay? If I bought a car from 1960, or no, hold on. If I have a car from 1960 and then I look at the instruction manuals for a car from 2010, they're not going to be the same car. It does not work that way. Okay? So we have one for Spotify. Now we need one for Instagram. Now we need one for Facebook. I bet you just type in Facebook. Let's guess. Nice. What's the other one? Twitter. Yes, we have all three of these, and you guys can see that. You can see the examples. When you guys look at examples, you can see of how we can do additional stuff. So obviously on these, you can just simply give it a different size. So let's just target anything with FAB. Say, hey, anything with the class FAB, get a font size of 50 pixels. We just go down, and there we go. We have some icons. Nice.
Where did you save the icon file? Deleting CSS?
What do I say? The icon file?
So like, where was it looking up these icons from?
These icons are from the CDN right here. I'm going to just save it to you guys in chat. I'm sending it to you guys in chat right now. I sent it in our Sierra General chat. Okay, that's the exact link you got to copy and paste to the top of your head tag, or to the bottom of the head tag. And obviously the head tag is at the top of your HTML file. Okay, so here you go. Here are the icons right here. All right, so do I have any questions so far, guys? Okay, so the very last step that I'm going to show you guys how to do is that we're just going to clean this up a little bit, okay? So we have a bunch of loud colors that helped us determine where we're going to lay out stuff. It gave us a visual indicator so that we could mentally imagine where everything is. So now at this point, we're just going to delete certain things, delete certain colors that we're not going to use, okay? So we're going to delete blue, green, and blue. And now you guys can see that it's starting to come together. Whoops. Why is our text, what the hell? So we just make our background black, that's the problem. Okay, there we go. Obviously, I want you guys to fill in all the additional link tags and everything, okay? I'm not doing it 100% perfectly, but I do want you guys to just put things where they need to be. Do you have any questions? Okay, once again, work with your partners. One of you should be like looking at Spotify and saying, hey, move that to the left. Move that to the right. This text says log in. Something like that, okay? One of you guys can put your heads together. What's your thinking helmet? Put on your thinking helmet, okay? Strap it up. I know it's backwards. You guys get the point. We're thinking, okay? Just because some person's typing and the other person's researching, you should both be thinking. All right, get to it, guys. I've been talking for 45 minutes.